Remember there will be. There will be. Again, the sixth race tonight is for sheriff. Candidates in this race are Daniel Law and Alex Villalobos. I would ask each one of you, beginning with Daniel Law. Mr. Law, would you please introduce yourself to our audience, and you have 1 minute to do so.
Thank you. First of all, I thank each and every one of you for being here, for the hands that put this together tonight, for each one of us to come out here and talk to you. My name is Daniel Law, 56 years of age, married to my lovely bride, Darla, one wife, 3 children, 5 grandchildren, 1 on the way. I've got 33 years experience in law enforcement. Excluding the 3 years that I have been here in February, will be at the Precinct 1 Constable's office. The entire 30 years have been in 2 sheriff's offices, Caldwell County and Hays County. And I'm looking forward and happy to be back in Hays County, hopefully getting on track again. 20 years I was in Caldwell County as the sheriff, the sitting sheriff, the only candidate that's running for this race on either side that has 20 years successful sheriff work. I was nominated and elected president of the Sheriff's Association in 2013-14. A lot of work to be done, a lot of things have been heard, a lot of challenges to come. Thank you, and I expect and hope for each one of you to give me your vote to be your next sheriff.
Thank you very much. All of us need support and guidance and fight the fight of life every day. I'm honored to say that I've been married to my wife for my high school sweetheart for 29 years. I've raised both of my children in Kyle. I have owned a home here since 2004, but I've been in and out of this county since 1989. You know, I came to public service because a community needed help, but a government person made me angry because they denied access to me for the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life. I have taught that to my family, I've taught that to the community that I support and the community that I represent, is to provide access, provide responsible policy, provide modernization of and efficiencies to instill in them so they can have that access. I've done that as an elected official here. I've done that as a longtime law enforcement official, and I've worked myself up from the beginning all the way to executive level and as an executive administrator for this county, currently acting as a chief of staff.
Thank you. First question for our candidates, beginning with Mr. Law. Assess the recent performance of the Hays County Sheriff's Office, and if elected, would you keep it in the same direction or change course? Please be specific in your analysis. You have 2 minutes.
Current assessment. Well, they've got a staffing issue that has been translated over time with a overcrowding issue. The first thing I would say we need to do is get a recruiter in here, which I've already contacted somebody supposed to be #1 in the state, and targeting hopefully to come here and help with those issues. Then reinforce them with recruiting and keeping those good employees here by coming together with all of the people within that department through communication and input and listening to what they have and their concerns on all facets of that office, so that we can be one moving mechanism moving forward for Hays County. One of the best things that I can say that I had the opportunity of doing in Caldwell County was reintroducing all the reentry programs, which also put those inmates that are incarcerated from our community, getting them back on track, back on the streets, helping those families, and keeping them out of jail. That was one of the things I'm most proud of. But here, we've got to get rid of the problem, get all of those outsourced inmates from across the state back here. The liability is off of us and back into our responsibility. So it's not sitting out there waiting to have an accident.
Thank you. Would you like to do any question?
No, not at all. It's something that I live with on a regular basis in my current position, and trying to instill modern practices for recruitment, retainment, and then also instill and install and implement current and modern policies to address the overcrowding and pretrial services of inmates. Number one, the strategic plan for recruitment retainment needs to be, along with policies, needs to build a certain level of commitment. so that the agency can have expectations and understand that they are fitted with consistency, foundation. They understand how they're going to organize and operate within the organization. They need to have that support to understand and project how they are going to develop their careers, where those opportunities are at, and you have to have the listening ear to understand and identify those individuals and put them in places where they're going to be effective as well. You have to understand the environmental landscape by the different cultures of the area of this county. We're all different. You have to put deputies in their highest probability of success. My job as the chief of staff has been researching and helping implement across the county. All of the modern practices that have been recently implemented have been done because of my research, filtering down through the county judge and into the commissioner's court. I have worked with a great team of people across the county, but we have never ever since have had the entire levels, all levels of criminal justice in one room, hashing out what needs to be done and the best practices to affect people in pretrial services, to reduce populations, and to stop farming out our neighbors to other counties. Bring them back home so that they can have a fair trial and a speedy trial as it is provided within the Constitution. Thank you.
Second question, and we'll begin with Mr. Villalobos this time. What specific strategies and initiatives do you plan to implement to enhance community policing and improve the relationship between law enforcement and the residents of our county if elected as sheriff?
There definitely will instill and install a transformational and servant leadership environment within the organization. We need to be transparent with all of our laws, all of our policies, all of our disciplinary issues within the organization, and it needs to be available to the entire community. They need to know and understand what's going on within that organization so that they can have the opportunity to help out. If you cannot create a successful organization without the commitment of the community and engaging them and allowing them to come in and be a part of that. The other initiatives will be within, within creating those community engagement opportunities, is that we need to do that at the basic level where we say and where we talk about we are protecting our most precious resources, that's within the schools. Education is the key to changing behavior. Education is the key to changing what's going on in the schools with regards to fentanyl overdoses. Mental health resources, which is a desert in our schools, is where we're going to fix those issues. Stop chasing the poison and address the root issues. I understand how that works. I understand how to articulate that and work within my organization to support those initiatives, and I believe those are the best to capitalize in the community, listen, evidence-based practices to address those issues, engage them and bring them in so we can learn from our community. The best way to address those issues is engaging and providing those opportunities, which we're not doing now.
Thank you. Let me repeat the question for you, Mr. Law. What specific strategies and initiatives do you plan to implement to enhance community policing and improve the relationship between law enforcement and the residents of our county if elected as sheriff?
We are going to have to implement, put everybody together, communicate with all facets of Hays County, the business, the citizens, and all agencies within Hays County that have to deal with law enforcement. Communicate completely, work together completely, and fight all of the things that are out there right now. The fentanyl, the education levels, talking about the inmates and the recidivism keeps coming back over and over again. We need to educate those folks so they can take care of themselves as well. Help them get out of that system, that revolving door. And the only way to do that is be accountable and accessible, efficient, effective in everything we do. I promise to be out amongst the people so that you can have me readily accessible. I will answer my phone. Not only that, you will see me at the events and you'll be able to come up, approach me in any moment. Big shoulders, I can handle anything that's said. But if we don't know what the concerns of the citizens are, up front, personal, and in your face, we can't address them. And then we need to stick to our word and do the job so that every person in Hays County is safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. candidates, and again, this was the race for sheriff. Thank you.